All right.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Super Span here with Goldenarms36, repping the Hollywood Casino Joliet shirt. Uh, we don't work there anymore, so please, don't go in there fucking with all of our fans like, where's Julian and Mike? Oh my god. Um,
We'll
so
let you know when we go there, though. We'll let you know.
yeah, right. Yeah, when we make an appearance over there. Like we're some like peaked in high school kind of guys. We're just going over there like this our old stomping grounds.
Yeah, I
Working
know, right?
10-hour shifts there.
Like we mature, we moved on from here. When we go see people we know, we're just like, "What's up, man? You still here?"
Yeah. But so we're gonna just talk about the start to the season so far. With the first thing talking about Zach LaVine's start to the year. So Julian, I'm gonna let you start off with that. What do you think about his start to the season?
I mean, there's not really much to say to a start to a season because he's on load management, so he's not really playing back to backs. And even when the games he is playing back to backs, very inconsistent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just seeing it through a different lens, but to me, he just like there's some games he's just not engaged. Like he really lets like DeMar just do his thing while he just sits in the corner or like just very passive on offense.
Yeah.
And like we're and then when he wants to play second fiddle, I guess like off the mar, he needs to make smarter decisions with the ball. He can't be turning the ball over on some dumb stuff, like throwing it away or throwing an overhead pass, overthrown pass, or just like being lazy with the ball, just being reckless with it, just losing it off his foot or something like that. Like he just needs to be a lot smarter.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, like, as long as he like steadily improves on other aspects of his game, like just makes everyone else better, maybe like I won't have a problem with that. But until he starts playing more back to backs, I can't really tell you like how he's looking right now because he hasn't really shown much. He's shown a lot of inconsistencies, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, his scoring is there. But I just need to continue to see him be a little bit more like aggressive in terms of like driving to the paint. Um, Maybe cool it on the, it seems like like whenever he's like heavily contested or double teamed or whatever, like people got two people coming over towards him. He likes to take his Kobe-esque shots. Kobe Bryant, not Kobe White. I forgot about that. But no, I mean, I'm always been a huge supporter of Zach, but yeah, he does have his flaws. Like, yeah, he'll have his turnovers. Sometimes he'll take some crazy shots. And granted, I mean, he makes them most of the time, I'd like to say. But I just want to see him sort of get like, I don't know. I want to see like the Zach of last year, or even like the year before, whatever. Like he was good last year. He was obviously good the year before. He had his injury last year, but I don't know. I feel like he'll be fine. It's still very early on, but I agree. I mean, once you get the $200+ million contract, a lot of different expectations are going to get thrown into it. Um, but I was listening to a podcast I think last week where they were saying like, people are complaining about his $200 million contract. He should be like a mega superstar level player, which he is a star. Superstar, maybe, we'll get there, but what's it called? They made a great point. They were saying anybody who's like an all-star, and Zach LaVine is a two-time all-star now, is going to get those absurd contracts, especially nowadays. So it's like, I mean, God, like, is he worth 200 something $million? No. I mean, shoot, anybody in the
Probably
NBA.
probably could have got him a lot more less, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta sell tickets in Chicago. You gotta sell your fan base on something. But like you said, not everybody's worth that money, but they had to give it to somebody, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And like, could you imagine if we lowballed an offer for him, like, and he went to Sacramento or something, or the Lakers or whatever?
Yeah,
Like,
that'll make the Bulls look bad if they ever did that to their star players, because then they
yeah,
can't attract anybody to come through.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's having a solid start to the season in terms of scoring. I mean, I'd still,
Like you said, the scoring is always going to be there. It's just more
yeah,
so the little things is what I'm looking at. The winning plays.
yeah, yeah,
And to me, like when DeMar starts, taking over the game, when DeMar's taking over, he's taking over. Nothing really you can do about it.
yeah,
But he's DeMar's getting double team, taking these contested shots. How can make it a little easy for him, Zach, and weave around the corner, weave around baseline, boom, cut, dunk.
right,
Like something like that. Like I just see him like just being very passive whenever DeMar is taking over. Which just
yeah,
shouldn't be the case. It should be a 1-2 punch.
yeah. Um, I completely agree. I mean, you see the scoring as we mentioned, but no, I totally agree that oh, what the heck is London 10 minutes? I totally agree that we do need to see some more winning plays. I mean, he had that one game where he scored, I think it was 20 points in the fourth quarter, but like how often do we see that? I mean, I'm not trying to rip on him or just, trying to criticize him and sort of like loosely analyze the
Nah,
way.
when you're getting paid that much money, it's criticism's warranted for you because you're our best player. All right.
There, yeah.
Like there's no excuse for him to play passive like that when you're getting paid $200 million. Like
Right.
20 points in the fourth quarter, awesome. That's the Zach I'm looking for. But he was also making good passes. He was also making winning plays at the same time. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't just scoring, getting buckets. Which, like you said, he's always going to get buckets. It's just the other aspects of his game needs to improve. Especially if we want to win a championship. He's
Yeah.
got to make. If you're going to be the best player on the team, you got to make winning plays. Does
Yeah.
not necessarily always has to be the big defensive stop, the big steal, the big turnover or the big turnover down to the shot clock or the big block. Sometimes it's just like hustling down. Like, that's where we really miss Lonzo and that aspect because when Lonzo and Caruso were on the court, woo, chaos.
Yeah.
Like you actually saw the Zach and DeMar play defense.
Oh yeah. And that's actually a good transition into the next topic I wanted to talk about. Io's obviously been starting in place of Lonzo Ball for the start of the season here. And, I actually am a big advocate for maybe having him start alongside Lonzo when Lonzo comes back. I mean, I'm not really sure what a lineup like that or a lineup would look like that. I mean, we could have Lonzo at the 1, Io at the 2. I mean, really, like who knows how well Zach would be as a 3, but like you could sort of mess with the lineup a little bit. DeMar has proven that he can play power forward, and then you got Vooch. I hate to bring P. Will off the bench now because he's showing a lot of improvement, I'd say. But I mean, what do you think about potentially having Io start alongside Lonzo when he comes back?
Um, doesn't sound like a bad idea, but the thing is, how ready will Lonzo be when he's back? It's already taken him this long to come back. How long until he's ready to actually play NBA minutes?
Right.
So that's one question. But making the case for Io, like keeping the starting job for Io should like that's the one thing that should not be changed this season. He's earned that spot. He's improved in all categories. You can't mess with the chemistry with the starters either. Like you just can't do that. He's already acclimated himself with the starters this early into the season. Like he looks really good. Plus, he's still young and improving.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Io in November is going to be completely different than Io in April when we need him the most. And
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a drastic improvement with Io DeSumo. Now, that being said, don't mess with the starting lineup. Zoe coming off the bench is actually a beneficial thing for the Bulls. It only bolsters up our depth and our bench mob because you don't need Dragic to handle the ball. He can play off ball and he's a spot up shooter regardless. He's a knockdown shooter. For
Yeah.
one, it'll bring him back slowly, like get him acclimated back into the team a little bit. Then on top of that, what I said earlier, Caruso and Lonzo Ball as leading your bench mob. That's a defensive nightmare for everybody,
Yeah.
especially Drummond at the hanging out in the paint, just waiting for you to drive in. Man,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy, Like that'll just make our bench even more deeper than what it already is.
Oh yeah. That is a really great point about bringing Lonzo off the bench, especially to start his season whenever he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I've never thought about that. I mean, I hope that now I'm kind of hoping that they do that because that, Io has been playing really well.
As
Uh
long as Io shows that he's progressing from what he did, from what he started out with to what he ends with, then he's secure on the starting job. Like Billy Donovan shouldn't mess with
yeah,
that at all because he's earned it. Like, why give it back to someone that just came off an injury that took him like a year and a half to come back from? If
right.
he even comes back this year, he could. I want him to come back after the All Star break. Like, why won't rush him back when you know we're clearly developing the young guys right now.
Mhm.
Io's being developed. Patrick Roy is being developed right now. Just some of them are progressing further than others, as with the Io case.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, I don't know. To me, you just can't mess with that kind of with that chemistry. And if they already got a plan in place, maybe they will end up starting Lonzo off the bench or having Lonzo come off the bench.
Yeah. Um yeah, I think it would definitely be a help for our bench because you mentioned it, everybody's mentioned it to start the season. I mean, our bench is easily one of the best in the NBA. Dragic is like,
Bench mob remix.
yeah,
Bench mob
Dragic
remix.
is like an angel sent from above. Like we didn't even sign him for practically anything. And when they signed him, most Bulls fans, including myself, to be honest, thought of him as like an afterthought. And
Oh no, I didn't. I was on the Dragic fan. I was on that. I was on that fan base right away, dude.
yeah,
When you saw him in FIBA, when you saw him playing for his home country, he was getting buckets.
oh
So I was
yeah,
like, all right. So that's all. That's all we really need from Dragic. Just get buckets and get open. Like that'd be easy. We got Io, we got Lonzo, we got Zach, we got DeMar, and he'll be right there. And it's worked to what I imagined it'll work because we don't need him to lead the offense off the bench. We got other playmakers. We just need him to knock down buckets and make the veteran play, make the smart play. And so far, he has done exactly what I thought he would be doing.
yeah. Um, and then obviously Drummond has played really, really well, I'd say. I mean, like a super big upgrade from Tristan Thompson,
Oh,
Mr.
of course.
Mr. Club hopping himself. Drummond is obviously a great rim protector, great rebounder, and he can finish in the paint a little bit. And apparently, he's a sharpshooter for one game of the preseason. Thank God he hasn't taken many threes in the regular season here.
Although he had his chances when I was in San Antonio, he had two chances to make an open three. He was wide open, but passed it off. But
Yeah,
he can make them. He can make them. I just
he
wish he
can.
would take them.
Yeah. But yeah, we got about 2.5 minutes left here.
Well, let me throw in the Vooch thing. Let's talk about Vooch then.
Yeah,
You want
yeah,
real quick, since you had Drummond, you brought up Drummond. I think because of the addition of Drummond is why Vucevic is looking so far statistically his best year with the Bulls. He's able to get his rest while Drummond is in there banging bodies with the backup center or like a center that we clearly has outmatched Vucevic.
right.
Like, all right, just bring in Drummond. Let's rest Vucevic. He'll come back in. Vuce is knocking out 3 threes in a row or something, or
Yeah,
getting a double at the end of the game. Like he has been a godsend for Vooch because Vooch needed help. You had Tony Bradley backing him up last season, so Vucevic definitely needed some backup help, and I'm glad that they got Vucevic that help, and Vucevic might have an all-star season if all things go well for the Bulls, if they start getting consistent wins. I can see these 3 Bulls making the all-star team.
oh yeah. I mean, I love how Vooch has been playing. I love how the entire bench has been playing. It's just I missed the hell out of Lonzo Ball. I feel like not a lot of people are saying back to the whole bring Lonzo to the bench. Whenever we bring Lonzo back, that's just another great, that's like another addition to the team basically. even though he's been on the team for a year and a half or so now, once he gets back, it's going to be like a breath of fresh air. But I'm gonna we can end the video here. It's about less than a minute left. But Julian, I want to thank you so much for coming on this video with me. Hopefully more to come. And any final words?
Go Bulls. That's all.
Go Bulls. Peace.